goodness. Hey there, YouTube. Who is YouTube anyway? Just kidding. Oh my gosh, the reflection in my glasses right now. I can't get an angle where there's no reflection. Just trying to get some kind of thumbnail kind of angle or shot maybe. So I'm gonna try to keep this quick today. I just got to work, I just got to the club, and my favorite manager is here, it looks like, which I was not expecting, so that's nice. I haven't been inside yet. I actually got here a little bit early today. I have slightly less than an hour until I try to sign in. Well, until the time that I try to sign in by, when the price goes up more. We pay to work here as dancers here at this club that I work at. So yeah. Today is Wednesday. It is the last Wednesday of November 2025. And tomorrow is Thanksgiving. It's another gray, cloudy day here today. It's been very cloudy and gray lately and for a little while now. But you know what? It's 50 degrees, which for this time of year here where I am, this is considered warm. And it was pretty much like this yesterday too. So I'm just trying to focus on that. It was very rainy last night. But it wasn't snow, you know, and yeah, 50 degrees now at this point feels warm. So like I'm wearing a short sleeve dress. I added these silly little ruffle sleeves because I found them, but this dress is actually a short sleeve dress pretty much. So, I mean, to be able to wear this right now is pretty amazing. And I think we are supposed to get some sun for tomorrow for Thanksgiving. I don't know. Don't you just love holidays? The only holidays that I really like are Halloween and St. Patrick's Day, and I guess New Year's kind of, but I just hate when places are closed because it's already so difficult for me to get out usually. So, but when I do want to get out, like I want to get out, and I need to have the option. So to just have places be closed, it's like, oh my gosh. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't been to the gym in a while. And originally when I asked the gym if they were going to be open on Thanksgiving for regular hours, because normally on a Thursday, the gym that I go to is open 24 hours. So I asked them a couple weeks ago about that. And oh my gosh, there's a squirrel. I haven't seen a squirrel out here in a few days or too long. Oh, yay. So I asked the gym a few weeks ago, and they said they were going to be open normal hours, like regular 24 hours. But then I had a feeling, because nothing and nobody's ever reliable with stuff pretty much, right? So I double checked and I called last night just to try to make sure. And lo and behold, they were like, oh no, we're actually closing at noon, at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. All the locations, like the whole entire franchise. So I'm really glad that I did call to double check on that, because I just had a feeling, like I said, it's like you can't count on anything that anybody says. Pretty much. So, I mean, it would be a lot more incentive for me to go out and do stuff tomorrow, or try to, if the gym was open. I mean, I don't have family in the area, so I don't have plans for that kind of thing, but I would at least want to try to do like a FaceTime chat with my mom and my gram maybe. But I don't know, it's going to be tough, because it's like for me to do everything I have to do to get out and about, just to do like a 5, 10, 15 minute FaceTime call and that's it. I don't know. But I was able to get out today. When I worked last Wednesday, it was one of the most terrible shifts I've had in a very long time. It was just so awful. Like one of the worst shifts, just awful. So I really wasn't too sure about trying to come in this Wednesday, but you know, I try to do at least 3 shifts a week. And I didn't do this past Sunday. I did Monday and then last night till close though. Last night was also pretty bad. But last night on Monday night, I was wearing a certain style of thigh-high stockings with a garter belt that was attached like with the fabric. So I couldn't really get much, I couldn't really pull down the fabric part to get more skin to grip the pole with, or try to. So I really didn't do hardly any pole at all. I did a little bit, but not much at all on Monday night. And I mean, also I'm about to start my period, like pretty much today, I think. But last night, so that was Monday night that I didn't do a lot of pole. But then last night, Tuesday night, I did go on the pole because I wasn't wearing those stockings anymore. I was wearing just like regular kind of socks and stockings that I could pull down to my ankles to go on the pole, to have more skin on my legs to grip the pole with. So I did do a lot of pole, not a lot, but yeah, I did definitely a lot more pole last night than I did on Monday night, because I did hardly any on Monday night. So, but it's funny because it's amazing. It gets me every time how 9.99 times out of 10, I feel so much better when I do more on the pole, and when I do, like, exercise just makes me feel better. I'm a big believer in the endorphins with that. So, like, I was trying to also take it a little bit easier on Monday night, just like, you know, not having worked the night before and trying to get back into it, loosen my muscles back up, and with my period approaching and all of that. But doing more on the stage and more on pole last night instead, I just felt so much better. Like, and I don't know, I just was able to warm myself up, you know what I mean? And just like get more energy and adrenaline that way, and especially towards the end of the night. And then, yeah, at the end of the night when I left, it was pouring rain, and I drove back to my apartment without using the windshield wipers. Usually when it's raining, I try not to use the windshield wipers on my car, because a few years ago when I went to get my car inspected, I actually have to get it inspected next month. It's I have to do it in December, so, of every year. So a few years ago, when I went to get it inspected, the place that I got it inspected at, they sold windshield wipers there, and they were like, oh, you need to get new windshield wipers. And they were like over $50, and I was just so upset about it. So ever since then, I haven't used my windshield wipers to try to make the ones that I have last as long as possible. Oh, I would pretty much rather risk my safety and die than have to. Oh, but then it's like, any little money that I have left on me, if I were to die, it's like, who would that go to? I wouldn't want it to go to anyone that I can think of. That's mine. So anyway, so I think about this all day long, every day, pretty much. I hate money so much. Being a dancer, especially. Ugh. Anyway, oh, so, God, oh my God, and I'm trying to think back, like driving in the snow last year, I was like, I must have used my windshield wipers for the snowstorms, but I honestly can't remember. I'm assuming I tried not to as best I could, and I genuinely can't remember. But, oh, an ADT truck just drove by. They know how to unlock things. That's nice. But anyways, so snow is one thing. I really can't remember what I do when it comes to that. I guess I'll have to end up reminding myself this year, I guess, when it starts to snow here, and I'll find out that way. That'll jog my memory, I guess. But when it rains, even when it's pouring rain, I don't use my windshield wipers. And it was pouring rain last night. So I didn't use my windshield wipers one time the entire drive back. I was so proud of myself, / mad at myself for being like that. But I feel like it's good practice too, to like, I don't know, you never know, like what if all of a sudden they just stopped working and then you had to do that, you know what I mean? So like, I guess in a way I'm like, oh, well, it's not like it's a terrible thing to have some kind of experience doing that just in case, you know, versus, I don't know, I just try to tough things out, I guess, and just see what I'm capable of. I just hate spending money, so yeah. I mean, this club is so slow. The guys here, most of the guys that I try my best to deal with are just so awful to me. Not all of them, thank gosh. There have been some great ones, but they're far and few in between a lot of the time, and especially lately. And it's like, you know, trying to get a single dollar out of anyone here a lot of times is just like, how much of my body and my soul do you need? Just all of it, I guess, pretty much. And I can't give that right now. I'm sorry. Want me to get down on my hands and knees, you know what I mean? And just like beg at the altar of the almighty God of man, like, so I just don't have it in me right now, sorry. It's pathetic, it's just ridiculous. I mean, last Wednesday there were probably, I don't know, 25, 30 dancers here, and maybe like 2 or 3 customers that were not already taken by their dancers pretty much. So, and even if they weren't, you know, like the 2 seconds that they weren't, if I would try to go talk to them, it's like, no luck there. Anyway, I mean, hopefully tonight will go better with the holiday tomorrow. Hopefully some people will want to come out tonight and do something fun, or I don't know, do something. Oh. And then last week, it was a lot colder last week. I mean, this time of year, it's usually a lot colder than it has been the past couple days. So last week at the end of a shift, my windshield was frosted. Like I couldn't see out of it at all it was frosted over, where I had to use my scraper to scrape it. And in the parking lot, there was the vehicle in front of me was like, just the exhaust was pouring out of it to where I didn't want to breathe that in. So I drove around to the back of the parking lot behind the building, and I was just like out back there by myself. Actually, there was another car. I think there was like a manager car back there. And they're probably like, what is she doing? But so I'm back there by myself, just like scraping the ice off for like 5, 10, 15 minutes pretty much. Just ridiculous. I hate this time of year so much. But today and yesterday, like I said, this is pretty warm. This is pretty nice for this time of year. So I'm just so excited about this. But you know what? It was still cold last night. I had the oven in the kitchen on to like 800 degrees, pretty much like as high as it would go. So I'm just like back there, like wedging myself between the oven and the coffee maker, you know, like with the burners on the coffee maker, just like in between the two, like, I was organizing like a bunch of my notes that I do here for my videos. So I'm sitting on this table with like all these notes sprawled out around me, like on all sides pretty much when I'm not on stage. In between my stages, I have like all these notes all around me, and they've been like pending and building up in my bag and stuff. So I was trying to organize through some of that stuff last night, and I was just like, wow, this is so ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit weird, I tell you. In case you can't already tell. Yeah, I think I might want to take some pictures of some of my notes, because I know there's stuff that I forget to mention and forget to talk about, and it's so hard to try to like get it all out, you know, like especially compared to what I write down to what I'm able to actually try to say with words out loud in my videos. I don't know, I like to have my notes like to look back on too. And if I don't take pictures of them and post them, I know I'll just like end up losing them. And you know what I mean? They'll just get scattered to the wind somewhere, and I don't know what, you know, I don't know what happens to them. Eventually I throw some of them away, or I just lose most of them. Hopefully they don't wind up in other people's hands, but I'm sure some of them do. Yay. Like this is my one for right now, but I don't know, it's oh, here's one. Yeah, because some of the notes that I take for these, like last week after I was scraping the windshield of my car, I had new notes in my head. So I was trying to jot some of them down while I was driving. I mean, you're not allowed to text while you drive, but I don't know if there's any like law or rule about not taking notes with your hand with a pen, or like doing your makeup. It's funny because I'm the kind of person, like my luck when I'm driving, I will typically get every single red light possible. But my trick for that, when I'm stopped at the red light, rather than just sitting there impatiently, like getting frustrated, I'll be like, okay, I can do my makeup, or I'll clip my nails. I literally have a nail clipper right here next to me. It should be, unless, oh, here it is. So I have like nail clippers next to me so I can like clip my nails at lights, and just like something to give myself to do that's like a task. So I'll do my makeup or clip my nails, or if I have notes for a video, I'll try to take some notes. And anytime I start to do something that I like want to get done, or like I feel like I need to do like a task, that's, wait, hold that. Come on, come on. I put lotion on my hands today. That's when I get the lights. That's when I get the green lights immediately. It's any time that I'm actually doing something that I want or need to do. That's the trick. You know, whereas if you just sit there and you don't have something you're trying to do, you'll just be stuck at the red light forever. So it's so funny because last week when I was taking my notes for my next video while I was driving, I swear to gosh, I got every single green light, whereas normally I get every single red one. So it's like magic, you know. It's always, you know, whatever's going to be most inconvenient for me or most difficult. So it's like, oh, wow, there's a lot of birds that just fly. Anyways, so yeah, that's my little trick with that. But yeah, okay, what else? Blink-182. I love Blink-182. A lot of the stuff that I talk about in my videos is kind of like, oh God, really stressful and depressing. But whenever I don't know, I heard Blink-182 here at the club recently, and it just reminds me, it jogs my memory back to like happy times, like just before, like when I was just much younger, obviously, and I just love Blink-182. Their music makes me so happy. I know that ages me, but whatever, like, I'm pretty open about my age on here. So, and it doesn't, I mean, you can like Blink-182, like, once you hear their music, you can obviously like them at any age, so it's like, whatever, but, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, so, hold on. I'm really trying to keep this quick today because I have half an hour. My favorite manager's in there. So I want to go in. Oh yeah, so I've mentioned, what am I doing right now? I've mentioned on here before in a few of my videos, there were 2 DJs that I used to work with that I had a weird like working relationship with. They were really difficult with me a lot of times, and just a really weird situation for a while there. That was a few years ago. It's been a while. But one of them I worked with for a longer time than the other one. I think about 6 years we had worked together off and on throughout those years. And I had a crush on him a little bit at certain points, or I thought that I did. And he was actually here at the club last night. I guess he still comes in from time to time. And oh gosh, I mean, I'm right about to start my period. Like this past summer, it's funny because I didn't see him at all this past summer. And this past summer, I had my summer body going on. I haven't been to the gym for a while now, but this past summer I was going to the gym very regularly and on the treadmill for like 99 minutes at a time, you know, jogging and even running pretty much at that point. I mean, I was in shape, or I felt like I was. I was proud of my body then. Like, I was happy with how I looked, which is very, very rare for me. But I was really proud of my body at that point, and like to the point where I like kind of wanted to show it off, like, but it never lasts. I've had that happen before during the summer, and it just never lasts because summers are so short here and winters are so long, and my body just biologically, I don't know, my genetics or just something in me with like lacks discipline, or just how cold it is for so long here in the winters. I just always for the winter go back to my winter body, which I don't enjoy. I don't like my winter body at all, but that's the one that I have most of the time. Unfortunately, that's the one that I have like 8-9 months out of the year pretty much. So I'm back to my winter body now, and to where I just want to run and hide like every second. I don't want anybody seeing me. I don't want to see myself. It's just suffering, really, is how it feels like for me. I'm just ashamed of how I look and how I feel. So when he was here last night, I was just like, please, like, just don't look at me, you know, like, it sucks. But I will say this, like, we had our rough times back a few years ago when we used to work together, and he was pretty mean to me a lot of the time. We would, you know, butt heads, and he was pretty mean to me, pretty often. But he last night, and this has happened before when I've seen him here at the club, when I get called on stage when he's here, like I'll have the butterflies in my stomach, and I'm just thinking to myself, if anybody would want to see me fall off that pole and hurt myself and get hurt, I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel that way, but I'm sure he would probably be one of them, especially. So, and last night though, I wasn't wearing like my thicker stockings with the garter belt. So I just had like more skin exposed, and I particularly wore what I was wearing and had that be the case because I wanted to do pole last night. Compared to Monday night, I really didn't feel like going on the pole, but last night I wanted to go on that pole. And I wanted to like try to keep my body warmer that way. I wanted to try to like warm myself up by going on the pole and going on stage. So, and like anytime I wasn't on stage last night, it was warmer out in general, like the temperature outside, but in the club it was still very cold. So I was just really trying to warm myself up on stage and stuff. And I didn't want to miss even like the stage that I was on while he was there. I didn't want to a part of me wanted to not go on the pole just because I was like really anxious and I didn't want him to see me like fall off and get hurt or whatever. So, but then I was so cold, I wanted to like warm myself up too. And it would have just felt like a wasted stage, like a wasted time if I didn't go on the pole at that point. It would have just been boring and like, what else do I do up here right now? Like, I just wanted to go on the pole. So I did, but thank gosh he left when I went on stage. And it's almost one of those feelings where it's like, okay, all is forgiven about the past between us. Like, just thank you for not like looking at me, or just thank you for leaving when I go on stage and like not watching that, because you know what I mean? Because that's just like, oh, thank gosh. I was just like dreading going up there while he was here. And not even just that, but the way my body looks. I'm just like, please God, don't look at me. Like, I feel like shit, a big fat sack of shit, you know? Look like it, feel like it, just hate winter more than pretty much anything I can think of, just about. Like, I can't believe that this is my existence over and over. Winter and menstruation, just like, it never ends, does it? It never ends until I do, for me. It's just, but yeah, he didn't like look at me or stare. He just got up and left when I went on stage, and I was like, fucking thank you so much for that, you know, like, just please don't see me. So that was nice anyway, I guess. It's weird, but what. Oh, and I was also really proud of myself for like going on stage and going on the pole. Oh, here comes a big white van with a little American flag in front. I can see the cage area in the back of the van. They'll probably just sit there, or maybe I'll get to see who comes out of it. I love when we have big white vans here in the parking lot. I've actually had a white van follow me out of the parking lot before, but thankfully that was not recent. That was a while ago. Oh, okay, no, they were here before last week. They parked in the same spot they're parking now. That guy is really scary looking though. Oh God, I hate everything. What was I saying? I was really proud of myself for going on stage a lot last night. Because I didn't go on stage a lot Monday night, but Monday night, my favorite manager was here, whereas last night, and Monday night, I didn't go on stage a lot. And Monday night, my favorite manager was here, whereas last night, I did go on stage a lot, or on the pole a lot, but my favorite manager wasn't here. And I've said in the past on my videos before, a lot of times I'm like, I attribute a lot of what I'm able to do on stage and on the pole to my favorite manager working and being in the DJ booth and doing stuff with the lights and the music. Like a lot of like what I would want to see as my talent on stage, I kind of can't help but attributing to other people working, like managers or DJs in the past, like the way that they do stuff in the DJ booth, because that is a big part of it. I am willing to admit. It's like a combination of things for me, I think. But last night, the lighting was still pretty awful. But I felt there was that part of me with my own individual talent of what I as an individual am able to bring to the table and just bring out within myself that already exists within me without necessarily a whole lot of external factors or like other people triggering it or activating it. Oh God. There's like a couple guys over there. Just I don't want to see them right now. I'm parked right in front of the club, you know, so it's gonna happen, I guess, sometimes. But a lot of times with what I'm doing on stage, I feel like it's a combination. What tends to activate a certain kind of mode, a certain kind of style of dancing for me that I'm not always able to access or get into. But I feel like when I am able to access that part of myself or that part of my dancing, that zone, I guess, if you will, for me, I usually feel like it's a combination of the lights and the music together, like a combination. And also the crowd, like who else is around and in the stage, or not in the crowd, in the audience, I guess. Like who's watching or who's not watching, that kind of thing. But what I realized last night, and what I have realized before in the past, is that I guess more than anything, a lot of times it really seems to be the music for me more than anything else. And I love that feeling because it just reminds me of, like, you know, being a dancer, like that I just really am like a dancer because I feel the music so much, you know, like I feel that music. And even now that I am not smoking weed anymore and that I haven't been smoking weed for quite a while, I mean, obviously with weed, it really does for me help me to feel the music and enhance music, which is it's always been one of my favorite things about weed and what I used to love the most about smoking it in the past. But I haven't smoked weed for almost seven months now, pretty much. But it's like I'm still able to feel that music so much, even being sober, like dead ass sober, unless you count like running on sugar, pretty much, and carbs and stuff. But so last night I was able to access that zone with my dancing where I just felt like my true self, my true dancer self, was able to come back out and like kind of just do its thing up there. And I'm just like, yay, like it was activated. I activated it within myself, but it was because of the music. The lights sucked ass. It was, most of the time, the lights in there are not to my liking. And this was more towards the day shift, that like in the afternoon. This wasn't like really a night shift kind of thing for me. This was actually earlier on in my shift to where it was still pretty much the afternoon hours. So especially in the afternoon hours, the lights on the stage will tend to be very, very unflattering. Just steady, it's hard to explain, but almost like they're purposely trying to bring out your flaws. Like to me, they're cellulite enhancing lights. They're just every little bit of body fat that you have on you, which everybody does, no matter how skinny you are. You wouldn't be alive if you didn't have some percentage of body fat. Like it has to be there on human bodies for bodies to exist, I'm pretty sure. But there are certain lights, especially here at the club, where it's like they're designed to literally bring out every speck, every cell of bodily fat or fluid or anything. Like you can see everything, but like bones too, it's almost like an x-ray. Like you can see, but like an x-ray for like everything, like bones, skeletal tissue, like body fat, everything. It's like you can see everything. It's like you can see almost through people, like everything. Really crazy. But so they had those lights last night, and they usually do, especially like during the day. They're like day shift lights, especially, but most of the managers seem to prefer those lights. Go figure. Not my favorite manager, thankfully, but it's just a very, very common for that lighting to be the lighting that's used here for whatever reason. I can't even imagine why that might be. So that was the lighting last night when I had this like zone in me activated, but it's like I was just kind of transcending that factor, and it was just the music. There were certain songs, and these songs were in a playlist of other crappy songs too. So it's like, it's not even like all of the music was like super great. A lot of times what they do here now is they'll just, because during the day especially, there's no human DJs, so the managers will like put on a playlist of music, and a lot of times it's like the same playlist over and over, so the same songs over and over. But so like a lot of the playlist, it's like a mix of, for me, songs that I really, really like, and also a lot of songs that I don't. And a lot of that is back to back. So there'll be like a song that I love and that brings out some of what I feel like is my better dancing or my best dancing. And then right before that really great song, or right after that really great song, there'll be a really like boring kind of crappy song with just like kind of bummer kind of lyrics, you know, like kind of just like bringing you down. So it's like a great song, a crappy song, a great song, a crappy song. But for whatever reason, last night when that zone in me was activated, when I was kind of able to activate it within myself, it wasn't, again, the lights were pretty sucky and it wasn't like a whole bunch of really great music, but there was enough good songs, like here and there. There was like a song or two or three of songs that I did like, where I was just like, okay, and just like getting lost in the music, consciously choosing to, but just letting the music kind of take over and just doing my thing with that. And it's like, I just love music so much, because sometimes that's really all it takes is like one or two really great songs. And in those moments, it's like my dancing, I can just get into that dancing zone where that's just what I'm doing. That's just what's taking over. And that's just what it is. That's what I'm focusing on and just allowing to be my reality. I'm not in my head. Not in my head as much, like whatever other bullshit is going on around me. It's just like, fuck it. Like that's me and the music. And that to me is like one of those things that really makes me feel like a dancer. And I love that shit. And again, it's more so like a thing. I like that feeling too, when I can just kind of feel like I'm bringing it out within myself without a manager or a DJ or the lights necessarily, or necessarily just the music. I mean, yeah, it's the music, but again, the music will kind of vary. So it's not like great music the entire time. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, it's almost like I pressed that button within myself somewhere and I refused to shut it off. I kept pressing it. I made sure it stayed on. I wanted that zone to be activated and I wanted to be in there, and I wanted to choose to do that consciously and make that choice and transcend and overcome all the bullshit around me in those moments. And when I'm not always able to do that. Obviously I can't always do that. There's a lot of times where I'm not able to do that, especially with how bad those lights are in there, and especially with how crappy most of the guys are in there. I don't want to say most, but yeah, during day shifts especially. But I mean, and just so many things, it's like to transcend and overcome so much crap in those moments. So much fucking bullshit in those moments, to feel like I'm overcoming that and just not focusing on that stuff for that time and for those moments and for those songs, and just, yeah, I love that shit. I live for that shit. I do. That and my YouTube, I guess. I don't know. My writing here and there that I haven't worked on in forever. But I was thinking too, I did have a Liquid IV packet yesterday. So a couple weeks ago, somebody had left a big package of Liquid IV little packets to mix into drinks. They had left that out by the coffee machine, which Liquid IV is something that I have tried in the past, but it's not something that I would consider myself to be able to afford. Technically I could afford it, but I would never want to spend the money on something like that. Like, it's just too expensive for my taste. So when somebody had left a bunch of the packets by the coffee maker, I grabbed a handful of them, and I had a few of them like that I was trying to space out throughout the next couple of weeks. And then I had the last one that I had on hand from then. The last one I had last night. And I was kind of wondering, because I had that before that zone was activated, and I was like, I wonder if the Liquid IV had anything to do with that. It might just be a coincidence. I've also had a lot of pasta recently, and that's not something I have a lot, like all the time. And I felt very bloated. I don't know if it's just like a combination of my period with that, or like how much the pasta is factoring into that possibly as well. I really can't tell. Like, I'm gonna be bloated with my period no matter what. Pretty much always, yeah. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, like, was it the Liquid IV, or I thought the pasta was making me feel kind of crappy and bloated, but maybe the pasta was actually maybe it was the pasta that I felt better with last night, or maybe it was the Liquid IV, or maybe, I'm not too sure. Maybe it's because it was Tinka Tuesday. I just know that I felt a lot better last night than I did on Monday night. And I was actually looking through some of my notes when I was trying to organize through some of my notes last night, and I had written that down about my Tuesday night being better than my Monday night, like a different time. This wasn't like this week, this was like another time in the past, like a few weeks ago, where that had also happened, where I had taken a note about it. I was like, the Tuesday shift was so much better than the previous Monday shift. So I don't know if there's just something that's like Tuesdays are better for me than Mondays lately, or but I've also said before in the past, like typically a Tuesday shift is after I've worked the Monday and usually the Sunday beforehand. Not this week, I didn't do the Sunday, but usually I feel better once I've been working consecutively versus like when I come in after having a few days off prior. That's actually usually when I feel the worst, because days off for me just make me feel usually worse rather than better. It's like my muscles just like tense up and stiffen up, and I should try to stretch more on my days off, but I really don't manage to do that because I'm just trying to catch up on sleep pretty much. I don't sleep very much in between shifts. And then a lot of times I'm like, do I actually feel better on less sleep? Or it's very hard for me to try to figure out what goes on there. But I have noticed that usually a lot of times I'll feel better after doing previous shifts. I guess where I'm just like more in that routine or more in that pattern, or my muscles are loosened up from the previous nights of dancing. The adrenaline maybe from going on the pole and on the stage. I'm really not too sure, but scientifically this stuff is very interesting to me. Like I wish I was like a scientist and I could like try to figure it out more, but I really have no idea what's going on with this stuff, or like with anything pretty much, you know. Isn't this the kind of hat that choo-choo train operators wear? Like a train, what do you call them? What do you call the people that do the trains, the choo-choo? Not engineers. Are they engineers? Anyway, I just get a kick out of this hat. My gram sent it to me. My hats and my accessories, like especially my winter accessories, I get from my gram. But these sleeves, I really have no idea where these sleeves came from. Oh shit, fuck. And why am I still holding this freaking lip liner? I better put this away. Oh, I don't know how you're supposed to wear these sleeves. Like, I'm assuming, what are these? I kind of wanted to pull them down though so you could see the regular sleeves of my dress. This dress, I remember wearing this particular dress when I used to work with a particular older person that I used to work with for my caregiving job that I used to do. They've since passed away, passed on, whatever you'd call it. They're dead now. But she was kind of a bitch too. But I still liked her. I mean, aren't we all kind of bitchy sometimes? I know I am. She was funny though. She was fun. We used to go on walks a lot. The place that she lived, she was a rich lady. At least she seemed like she was. She lived in a very nice neighborhood, very rich neighborhood, it seemed like. And we would go on these walks, and one of the roads that we walked down, I swear to God, I want to go back there sometime. I keep telling myself that, like, even now years later, I just feel like I never have the time or the energy. But in theory, in my mind, it's something I really want to do, and I hope I'm actually able to get myself to go and do it someday, to go back to this road, because it's like out of a book or out of a movie, this road. And I'd like to see it in winter too. I've never seen it in the winter time with the snow and stuff. I've just seen it like in the summer so far, like years ago. But it was just one of the most beautiful roads. I mean, just walking down it, you really, like, visually, it looks and it feels like a movie or like a book or some kind of like storyland, like some kind of whimsical, I don't know how to explain it. You'd have to really see it. I'd like to maybe go there and take pictures sometime, or maybe even a video. Maybe I could even do a video down there sometime. And I'm pretty sure there were no telephone pole. What do you call the the electricity wires. I don't know why I can't think of what they're called right now. Like utility poles, and telephone poles with all the wires like on the sides of the roads. They had their electrical wires in the ground, I guess. And this was like years and years ago. But there was some kind of technology or some kind of new age style of doing that where, yeah, all of the utility poles and the wires, the electrical wires and stuff, whatever you are supposed to call those, they were below ground. They weren't, so like looking on the sides of the roads, it was very rare. You didn't really see a lot of the wires around on the sides of the roads like you normally do, or like I normally do other places that I typically am around where I am. But anyway, she was nice too. She wasn't always bitchy, but she could be. She was one of those where it was like her family insisting that she have the care, whereas she herself really didn't want to think that she needed to have someone like helping her with things or there with her. Like she was fine doing everything herself, or she wanted to think that she was. And it was like her family that was like, no, like we are doing this, like you are having a assistant, a caregiver, or whatever you call it. But I wasn't still working with her when she died though, so I don't know, mostly I'm pretty glad about that, because emotionally I always struggled very much with that kind of thing, with that job. So like obviously in a way I feel bad, but you know, that I wasn't still working with her at that time when she passed away. But then also I'm kind of like glad that I wasn't, because it would have been more difficult, I think, for me, you know, if I had been, you know, more in contact with her at that time and seeing her decline more, I guess, like that and stuff. But the times that I was with her, a lot of those times were pretty cool, pretty nice. And yeah, the areas that we used to walk around down there were pretty amazing areas. So maybe someday I'll go back there and take some pictures and possibly a video or some kind of thing like that. But well, I have 9 minutes until I have to sign in, or until the time that I try to sign in by here at the club. So I'm gonna go in there and try my best. So, well, you know, I don't know why I still have this in my hand. I'm really proud of myself for being able to come out today. You know, I don't know, today and yesterday I feel so much better than I did on Sunday and Monday, which is awesome. I love when that happens. That doesn't happen all that often, where I actually feel okay. I usually feel pretty exhausted and pretty crappy, but especially when my period's coming on. But yeah, today and yesterday I feel better. And I got up in time today. Like I felt like I had just enough time I still had to rush, you know, like I pretty much always do, but I still felt like I had a decent amount of time, as long as I did things quickly, to get ready. And I even was able to get to the grocery store before I came here to the club and did this video. But I was like, a lot of times when I get to the club, I'll have to shut my car off and go inside and like sign in and pee before I do my videos. But today I actually haven't been in there yet. I haven't signed in yet. I didn't have to go in to pee first beforehand. I got to the parking lot and I just right away started my video. I was like, I have just enough time, almost a full hour to do a quick video. Almost a full hour to do a quick video. Like what? Who says that? But yeah, I was like, okay, so time-wise I can try to work this in just about right today. And I'm really glad that I was able to get out today. I really hope tonight goes better than last Wednesday night. I mean, holy crap, last Wednesday night was bad. That was so awful. Holy crap. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. I might try to come out. I did see on the weather report said that we're supposed to have a sunny day tomorrow. So I just wish the gym was open. Oh my gosh, what the, if the gym was open tomorrow, I really feel like I would be like adamant about trying to get out tomorrow. You know, it's just like, why? Like, I mean, I get it, but there's got to be like one or two people that's not having Thanksgiving plans that actually wants to go to work. If I were working at the gym, that would be me. Like, I would want to go to work and be at the gym instead. Like, not everybody has family like in the area, or not everybody travels to go do stuff on Thanksgiving or holidays. Like, some people just want to have like their normal routine, or they just want to go to work like they normally would. Like, not everyone's the same. Not everyone loves holidays. Like, I don't get it. I get it, but I don't. I really don't, mostly. But anyways, um yay holidays. Yay turkey. And stuffing. I do like stuffing. I hope you guys have a nice Thanksgiving though, and yeah, I probably won't be able to get out tomorrow. Realistically, I'll probably just want to sleep in, catch up on sleep and stuff, but who knows, maybe. I don't know. I really do want to see some sunlight because I feel like it's been so cloudy and gray here lately. I really do want to see some sun. I don't know. I'll see how it goes and how tonight goes and that kind of thing. But regardless, I hope you guys have a nice Thanksgiving, and I really would like to try to get back on here sooner than later, as I like to say. And yeah, I mean, tomorrow will be the last Thursday of November 2025. So hopefully it's a good one, right? But yeah, I'm gonna peace out for now and try to get back on here again pretty soon. Bye for now, guys.